Much Mo Giller. I am with my band of merry men here. We're hanging out, doing some expert analysis as I'm hosting, because these guys are the brain trust of the expert desk. And I think so far what we've found out is that just the history book of Cloud9 is something they're able to reach into, figure out what happens in a bad situation when they're in a tight spot. It was the 22-minute hold on the top, the second turret that we saw. They turned that fight around, and then the game was in their hands. But that doesn't mean that UOL, Unicorns of Love, haven't had a chance. Their early game is quite strong.
Well, yeah, but that's the thing. That's what really differentiates the high mechanic solo queue players from these veteran professional teams is they've been exposed to so many of these situations as a
long
team.
game.
And the difference between a long game in solo queue and a long game in the professional sphere are there's a vast, vast gulf there. And you can really just see the knowledge and the experience that Cloud9 has coming through. And when Cloud9 is probably the best team in the West in terms of this strategic play, in NA or Europe, it's going to be really, really hard for them to beat them.
Yeah, and I was really excited that Cloud9 were able to highlight something about the preseason that I really enjoy, which is the new Baron buff recall. The empowered recall is what enabled them to make this switch over to mid so quickly. They were able to have two people recall instantly, and then they get the semi-home guard effect where they get to the tower and have balls teleport in. So Power of Evil are forced with this decision that we keep on saying Cloud9 posed these choices to their enemies, and you know, they just crumbled under the pressure there.
So, looking at picks and bans, do they stay continuing to ban Vizicachi? Do they stick with just banning out Gnar or Aurelia and stealing Maokai as he can play?
The Poppy was scary.
Yeah, no, I mean, the Poppy was scary, but I think if they didn't have that little mini throw in the bot lane where they gave it the Dragon and a couple kills, the Poppy would have became a problem. Because you saw Meteos visited top lane a lot of times, and he just tried to keep him down. And then the Maokai seemed pretty fine against it. And you saw their team comp, they had tons of CC. Poppy basically had to ulti Lucian, and that's the only person that couldn't CC him. And even the time where Hai got ultied by Poppy, he could have just Orion ultied himself, and that would have been fine.
Yeah, the one thing that I do want to say about Unicorns of Love is I really think that Vizicachi's teleport play improved. You know, I was very critical about him last game, just kind of sitting on that teleport the whole time. But his teleport, where he got balls to follow him, and they picked up those 4 kills in the Dragon, nearly swung the game into their favor. So much more aggressive with that summoner spell this time. And I think that's definitely the kind of play that ULL needs if they're going to take any games of this series whatsoever.
Yeah, I mean, there were so many close calls in this game, right? The mid lane play there where Hai gets saved by Elimination.
Oh my gosh.
With his home guard, Captain Boots, flashed with Janna and barely gets there to save him. And then the Baron play to actually get that Baron buff so they could make the mid lane switch. That was ridiculous from Cloud9. That's like a play that you only see from Cloud9 too. They all wait and then jump at exactly the same time. It's like that level of coordination doesn't exist in any other of the North American teams.
The calculated risks and the great Houdini escapes for Cloud9 have brought them 2 wins now. Game point here at Intel Extreme Masters in San Jose. We're going to be heading into Game 3 right after this quick break. Don't go anywhere.